Hello, 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 everyone. Let me tag some folks and let y'all know I'm live today. Let's see. Hello, good morning, good morning. Here we go. There we go. All right. Go ahead and tag some folks. If you're here with me, shout at me and let me know. Even if you're watching the replay, definitely drop a hashtag replay so I know that you're here and watching. And if you have questions as we go in today, leave them below and I will make sure to answer them myself. So let's get right into the topic for today. Stop defending yourself. That is the main topic. And what we're really talking about is giving you the information and the tools to stop defending yourselves, to stop over verbalizing when you're in communication with other people, to stop feeling defensive so much in your communication with others. This comes up a lot for women with PCOS, and we're going to get into why that is the case and how this is very, very connected to what is driving your PCOS symptoms and your sense of self-esteem. So let's get into it. There are emotional patterns, and your nervous system is actually playing a role in this pattern. We're going to go over a really practical tool that's going to help you come out of a dysregulated nervous system, and then we'll also talk about sacred rising. So we'll get into that later. So this common emotional pattern with women that have PCOS is to over explain themselves, almost in this apologetic posture to other people. And part of it is because of their self-esteem, their body image. It can become damaged through dealing with these symptoms. But then another part of it is because the cortisol levels in your body are elevated, because the androgen levels, which is your male hormones, are elevated because your blood glucose is unstable and you're dealing with insulin resistance. All of this is putting a huge weight on your nervous system every day, and it leaves you feeling very sensitive to communicating, very sensitive to being able to express yourself with other people when and if you feel threatened by their communication. And to feel threatened by someone's communication can be because you're embarrassed, because you're frazzled, because you want to be understood and you're afraid of being misunderstood. So there could be various reasons why that would show up, to feel like someone's communication is a threat to your system. So because we know that the nervous system interprets all threats equally, then that means that your nervous system doesn't really understand that really there's no physical threat. You're just in a conversation that is very difficult for you to manage. And so we have to develop some skills, and we have to address the root causes behind the PCOS symptoms. So it's not just about learning to cope, but it's also about um, making sure that you understand what's driving your PCOS symptoms, and you're working to address those drivers and not just soothe your symptoms. So in a nutshell, this emotional pattern of over verbalizing, of defending yourself in communication, is also a symptom of PCOS. And it's important for us to identify how it's showing up in our bodies. When, for example, you're talking to a loved one and they've asked you a question, maybe to hold you accountable to something, or you feel like you fell short in some regard and they are bringing this to your attention as well, it can be very easy to fall into that defensive posture, start over defending yourself in answer to their questions, over defending yourself because you're afraid that you have let them down. And some part of you might be afraid that if you let them down, you're no longer of value to them, and that there is a fear of abandonment beneath all of it. And so when we find this showing up, we may lean into certain techniques like reframing, like asking for space, putting in stronger boundaries when we're talking to people, and we notice that this is coming up for us. We might start relying on these external means, which are helpful, but they're not really getting to the root cause of the problem. And that's where we really got to do the work to dig deeper and not just stop with external measures like boundary setting, learning how to reframe your communication, using I statements to not blame the other person. All of these might be tools that you would work with either on your own or in working with a mental wellness professional. All of this is very valid. But what I want you to see today is that there's physiological reasons behind the emotional patterns. And if we can address those physiological reasons, then we can start to see this pattern begin to unravel, and we can begin to show up differently for ourselves and for the people that we interact with day to day. This behavior, when we begin to over verbalize and we begin to feel defensive about ourselves and communication, can start to chip away at your sense of self-esteem and security. So it becomes a cycle where the physiological impact of nervous system dysregulation and PCOS can have you over verbalizing, hyper aware, and defensive in your relationships. But the very act of over explaining yourself then can undermine your self-esteem and a sense of inner felt security within you. And so it begins to kind of snowball, and it becomes a default setting almost, where this just becomes what you do. And so again, those external tools can help to initially disrupt the pattern. You can learn other tools to cope with it, but we want to go beyond the surface. We want to look at the root and what is really causing you to show up like this in your communication and the way that is damaging your self-esteem and your sense of security within yourself. When you feel secure within yourself, there's less likelihood that you're going to go into this mode of defending yourself to someone or feeling like you need to. And you begin to communicate more from a sense of connection versus defensiveness. And you're better able to be present and really hear what the other person is saying without taking it personally or without feeling like you're now on the defensive with them. So if you're listening to this replay and this is resonating with you, definitely let me know. I want to know, how this is showing up for you. And if you're here with me, oh, hey, Felicia. Hey, girl. Good afternoon and happy Sunday. And so let's get into a simple tool that can help you over time to regulate your nervous system so that you're in this defensive posture less and less. When your nervous system is relaxed and regulated, it's much easier to connect with other people, hear what they are saying without going into a defensive posture. And so think of it this way. When you're in fight or flight and your body perceives a threat to you, even in the form of communication from another person, your walls go up. Your ability to connect goes down because you need to be on high alert to get away from the perceived threat. So when we can use a simple tool to bring that nervous system back down into a felt sense of safety, it will allow you to more deeply connect to the person that you're talking to. So it's very simple. It's a breathing exercise wherein you're going to find a comfortable position. You could be standing, you could be sitting, you could be laying down, whatever is most feasible for you. And you're going to take a deep inhale, slowly through your nose for a count of 4. You're going to hold for a count of 4 and slowly exhale through your mouth for a count of 6. And you can repeat this breathing cycle for 5 to 10 minutes or however much time you have to give to it. My suggestion would be marking a time in your day, whether it's at the beginning, the middle, the end, or all three, to just have time for doing this breathing exercise. And that alone is going to give you that much more bandwidth to be able to show up and be present in your communication with others. When you step into a defensive mode with someone that is trying to communicate something to you, you're really not going to take it all in, and you're going to miss key things that they're trying to express to you emotionally. You're going to miss what is not being said by that person. It's very hard to tap into your intuition about the communication as well when you're in a state of alert and defensiveness. So it's worth it, even if it's one time per day for 5 minutes, to sit down and do this deep breathing exercise to give yourself that much more room to be connected to the people that you love the most. And over time, this helps to decrease your cortisol levels. So you're also helping with the root cause of the PCOS symptoms themselves. So right now, let's just do one little round of this. I want you to sit down, lie down, or stand and just feel comfortable. Take a deep inhale, breathing through the nose. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold your breath. 1, 2, 3, 4. Slowly exhale through the mouth on a for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So hopefully you already feel how calming that breathing exercise is. It is not meditation. It's simply coming into oneness with the breath, slowing the breath down. This will help you breathe deeper throughout your day as well, because a lot of times when we're chronically in a hyper alert state, we are not breathing that deeply. We may even have a little segment of the day where we're just not breathing for real, or it's very shallow. So this will help you take deeper breaths throughout your day, help you be more connected to yourself and your body so that you can be more connected to everyone else. You want to do this daily. And once you start to incorporate this into your routine and you see it benefiting you, definitely DM me so we can talk about it. So again, elevated cortisol is directly related to your nervous system being dysregulated. So ideally, your cortisol is going to be higher in the morning, so it can make you alert. You're jumping right out of bed. You have really good energy to start the day. And then as the day goes on, it's waning. It should be its lowest at night. You should be able to easily go to bed without the mind worrying and looping thoughts and not having that feeling of being wired and tired, where you're ready to go to bed, you feel tired, but you're wide awake. All of that is a sign of dysregulated cortisol. If you're not in that pattern, that means that your cortisol levels are not where they should be at different times of the day. So You can do this breathing exercise before you go to bed as well to help bring the cortisol levels down. When our cortisol levels are too high, this is affecting the adrenal glands, and the adrenal glands begin to pump out androgens, which are male hormones. Once those male hormones become elevated, you start to have symptoms such as dark patches, facial hair, body hair that is unwanted. It can result in an increase in insulin resistance in and of itself. It can contribute to hypertension. So it can have a cascade effect. And so if we go back to what was causing the androgens to be high in the first place, which was the cortisol, and we use simple tools like this to help us start bringing those levels down, we'll begin to see some symptom relief. This is a crucial step in healing PCOS symptoms. I call it the reset. This is where you reset your nervous system, reset your androgen levels, reset your cortisol levels, so that you can bring relief to those symptoms. They can get to feeling better, which gives you more emotional capacity to make the rest of the changes that you need to make for PCOS reversal. So thank you for tuning in today. Let me know if you try this breathing pattern and how it helps you. If you found this helpful and you'd like more support in your journey, there are a couple ways that we can work together. You can join my membership, or you can work one-to-one with me. If you'd like more information about that, drop a hashtag support in the comment section. I will reach out to you. My DM is always open. So if you'd like to talk about what your most challenging symptoms are, you'd like to talk about if my membership or one-to-one coaching is the right fit for you, then DM me, let's talk about it. And if we see that it might be a good fit, then we can schedule a phone call, really talk and connect, and just make sure that this is the right fit for you and me. This is a place where you can have community with other women that are focused on PCOS reversal naturally. You get the support of health coaching, as well as me being a holistic health practitioner. We are able to customize your plan with a holistic and natural approach, so that you know that what you're eating, the remedies you're using, the movement that you do every day is in alignment with what your body is asking for and what she needs. And then you get coaching. Coaching is something that's happening in the chat via private or group chat, but it's helping you to overcome behavior changes that could keep you from being successful. To change your mindset as well, so that your mindset supports a long-term reversal of PCOS. So again, if you'd like that support, you want to explore it with me, drop a hashtag support in the comments, or just send me a DM. We can talk more, and we can explore if it's the right move to schedule a call and connect. So you'll see that there is a link in the comment section that shares more about the program, and it is the central part of the membership and the one-to-one coaching, Sacred Rising. So you can read more about Sacred Rising via that link as well. If you have questions about anything I talked about today, or anything PCOS related, please leave a comment with your questions, and I'll be sure to answer. If you would like to join us and you're not already there, we do have a free community. It's called Black Women Reversing PCOS. If you'd like to join that community, I will leave the link to that in the comment section for you to join us there to get additional resources and some support there as well. So thank you for joining me today on this lovely Sunday. If you're inside Black Women Reversing PCOS, I'll be going live there at 1 o'clock to make a huge announcement that you do not want to miss. Remember to practice your breathing exercise and consider joining us at Sacred Rising. Have a wonderful week, and I'll see you guys soon.